course now has been here for 4 years. 3 years as an 18-hole course. First year opened up was the 9, and the land was purchased from a gentleman who had built the course so about 7 or 8, 10 years ago, and it's decided to develop, and here we are. It's a very challenging course to play. You figure if you can play here, you can play anywhere. The scenery is spectacular, and the course is well laid out and very playable even for the weekend duffer. We're located in a real good spot where we have a big population base, and we get a lot of golfers out here. But I mean, I think it's a lot of the scenery and how the course is laid out. I think that's what draws a lot of people. Clubhouse offers the best chicken salad sandwiches in Nova Scotia, and we don't have any cooked meals as yet because we're looking forward to building another clubhouse within a couple of years. But right now we have standard refreshments and snacks. We offer clubs, clothing. We have golf balls, basically what the weekend duffer or golfer would like to buy. I mean, we're not into the fancy high price type clothing, but we have a lot of logo shirts and hats and a lot of accessories.
We started building the course, I think it was in 1999. We finished construction and we opened up 9 holes that spring. And then we finished up the back 9 and opened that up the next year, and first sometime in July, the next following year in 2000. So it's been a good time, and it's coming around where people can't believe how far we came in the last 3 or 4 years, so it's been pretty good. Makes me feel good anyway, but what's going on. It's a challenge. I mean, you can't get a tougher course to me. I played all around the Maritimes, and if you really want a challenge, this is the place to go. I mean, you got to use all your clubs, and you got to think where you got to put your shots, and once you play it once, you know it's not an easy course. It has some nice par 3s that aren't too long. It's easy to play. It has some nice holes where you can play over the water or play near lakes. Lots of wildlife. The greens run pretty nice. All the greens are good shape. It's a good course to get out and play, and you enjoy yourself.
Colleen, I'm more your caddy as
that's
opposed
right.
to
Carry my clubs.
Carry your clubs, and there you go.
I'm at 6 under.
Yes, you are. Here's the ball.
Oh, good.
And you need a tee.
I need that too.
Jeez. I feel like Tiger Woods' assistant now. There's your tee, miss.
Thank you.
Yes, no problem. All right, well, let's get up there and tee off.
Oh dear. Now I've taken a lot of lessons, but I still really don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I'm like Sergio Garcia. I re-grip 42 times before I take my shot. Whoa! Okay, that was a good tip. Now, if not for the woods, I think it would have been a beauty. I'm deep in the woods, per normal. I spent a lot of time there.
that looked really good.
Oh, you're lying.
No, it did.
It was, again, you see, it was an outturn.
It's all this outturn thing. You know what? You'll probably help my golf game by the fact that you can help me with the outturn.
Right. You want to go the other way. You want to stay out of the woods.
I'm a lefty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. You see how easy that is to do? It's contagious, isn't it? It's just the woods, they're calling us.
I've always felt compelled when I have a guest on the show to kind of follow.
Do what I do.
Well,
Liar.
Well, you don't want to beat your guest.
That was very nice.
Very nice. And both of the balls came out onto the fairway, so we're going to do okay. Speaking of doing okay, how important is the Olympics to you at this stage of your career? Is it still something in your mind?
Yeah, darn it, they are. You know, you almost wish you'd kind of just go, all right, I'm not interested in it, but how can you not be interested in the Olympics? You know, it's just so big, and it would be such a great opportunity to play in. And we loved playing in the Olympic trials in Regina last year, and we came third, and but you're close and yet so far. So the idea of hanging around and keep playing and keep doing what you've got to do in order to get there, I think we're motivated for that.
Now, did you find that your Olympic experience of covering the events has really given you that bug that you have to go because you've covered lots of Olympics for CBC? Yeah. Is that what's getting you fueled because you know what can be there when you get there?
A little bit. I'm also curious, I'm really curious as a person who's covered a couple to see what it's like on the other side. And I also, after interviewing so many great Canadian Olympians, and hear them say, oh, just being here, I don't care how I do, I'm here, that sort of thing. And they all describe it as just the ultimate lifetime experience that you kind of go, that'd be neat to have a piece of that, or just get to see what it's like and to see what it's like inside the athletes village, and just to have an opportunity to hear your anthem must be quite
Oh, that would be incredible.
Yeah,
that would be incredible. So do you think the third place finish has helped you now?
Third place, losing helps. Losing
Certainly
helps.
it does.
Darn it,
It builds a winner, doesn't it?
It does, and you don't want to go through it, but if you keep winning, there's no motivation, there's no nothing, and you get, you know, you just probably would just fade away. But the losing makes you hungry and keeps you hungry, and you learn a lot from your losing. And we keep, after we lose something, we go, oh, what are we, stupid that we've got to keep losing in order to figure out how to win? Like, surely we've lost enough. We don't need any more lessons.
Yeah.
We've got enough character. We've got enough lessons learned. We're fine. And then you'll come up with another hard loss, and you'll learn something else and keep going. Even like when we lost the Worlds last year, that was really hard to swallow. And but it's made us hungry for next year.
What do you think makes you lose? Like once because you're as good as anybody else. You have a team that's as good as anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You play in some of the best rinks, better than anybody else. Is it just the way it goes?
It does go that way sometimes. It is a lot like golf. It's hard to explain sometimes.
Like that last shot, right?
Yeah, sometimes it just happens. If you could figure out the reason of why do you lose and how do you avoid it, I mean, you could make $1 million trying to patent it and write the book. You know, you'd be famous. It is just, curling and golf are both head games. They're mental games, and sometimes it doesn't take a lot to throw your confidence. Sometimes you're not quite there, ready to play, and that just happens. I think it's just human nature that you're not gonna win all the time, no matter how hard you try. But you try to get tougher at it. You know, we keep trying to. Let me kill that mosquito. Got it.
You're going to give me a crack?
Yeah, I was really going to smack him hard. But we keep trying to, for example, watch Tiger Woods and why is he so dominant. Then you hear stories about how Earl would have the change in his pocket and jingling it when Tiger was a kid, you know, that sort of thing. And you think, okay, well, we missed that opportunity. We didn't grow up with an Earl behind us giving us that. But he is so mentally tough that it's admirable, and you want a piece of that. So we do different things and work with a sports psychologist to try to develop that mental toughness to get tougher or meaner out there. But you know, sometimes it's not there.
And I think sometimes what it is the fact that you're just not feeling well that day. A lot of things in sports have to do about how you feel emotionally, family, monetarily, what happened on your drive in.
No, that's true. It is that you have to be kind of content in all areas of your life in order to be at peace when you get on the course, or on my case on the ice, and play well. If you've got a little distraction nagging at you, it's amazing how...
You almost need to be an extrovert for sure then when you're going to play in sports, don't you? Just get it off your chest right away.
That's right.
Tell them what you think.
Well, we did realize that actually as a team, because it's not an individual sport like golf. It's 4 of you working together as individuals, and you realize that you do have to have like a really honest, open relationship with your teammates, so that if one thing's bugging somebody, let them say it and get it off their mind, and then you're able to move on, as opposed to trying to just let it fester like a wound or something.
And they do fester, don't they?
They do, and it's poison on a team. You do have to have that kind of openness and honesty, and but it's such a combination of things to win. Like, you have to practice all the time. You need the mental toughness. You need to have all 4 of you working well together. And when it's working, there's nothing better in the world.
Working good now?
It's working good because it's summertime. I like that, even because I'm golfing. It's even better.
Good.
But no, we just keep gaining, because we've been together for so many years now. I think we keep gaining experience, and we keep being able to apply that to other games and different Bonspiels and then Canadian championships, and hopefully have a crack at something like the Olympics. And the more you're together and the more you learn from each other, the better you do get.
Everybody's on the same page eventually.
Yeah, even if I have to beat them into it.
Yeah.
No.
Now I know the characteristics of a skip. Give them a crack, knock the mosquito off. Don't hit in the
yeah.
don't hit in the trees. And if I got to beat you into sweeping that right,
Yeah.
I'm going to do.
That's right. Don't forget, yell hurry hard for on the greens.
Oh yeah,
Really,
that's gonna.
you'll win a lot of friends.
It's gonna get me. Well, listen, congratulations. I hope you do make it to the Olympics.
Thank
and nothing like the Canadian anthem, and I wish that upon you.
Yeah.
And next time I come to Nova Scotia, can you talk
Arrange
to
the weather.
Can you talk to the Doppler guy and get
little
him
bit.
to get us some
Yeah.
sun?
Well, you know what? You don't have to worry about having sunscreen on. You don't have to worry about being too hot. You just
That's
have
true.
to worry about your golf game and staying out of the woods.
Having said that, let's continue with our game. And thanks a lot for being on the show.
No, I'm glad to be there.
Jeez, I gotta get that ball in the bush.
Visit weekendduffers.com for great giveaways. Coming up, the Duffers Pro Tip, our special guest, trivia, and
Right, Colleen, to end the show, the 3-foot putt,
can do
not
it.
even 3 foot, that's 2 foot. Okay,
It's harder than it looks.
When, this could be for big money.
It is. I gotta line it up.
Yes.
Okay, it looks just. I can do it. Make sure you get that flag out.
I'm going to.
Hurry!
Oh, yeah, no,
all the way.
it was great.
Oh, you
You-
see, I think you choked on me on
You
that.
almost beat me.
I think I did beat him.
You
He's
almost
just saying that.
Yeah, up in the
hack
tee when you
curler.
hacked me in the side of the face with the
I
mosquito.
had to. It was
All right.
sucking the blood out of your face.
Listen, thanks for being on.
Nice to be here.
Next time you're in Ottawa, drop by and see us.
I'd love to.
We'll golf again,
Right
and
on.
I'm sure you're going to be making a lot of trips across the country again in your quest to for a gold medal.
Out on the ice in colder times.
Yeah, well, I'm in Nova Scotia. It's pretty cold today.
It's not curling weather yet.
No, not. Thanks a lot.
Nice to meet you.
We'll see you again. Thanks for being on the
Okay.
show. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you next week right here on the Weekend Duffers.
See you on the ice.
Hi, I'm Lisa Virtue, Creative Director for the Weekend Duffers. Now, Colleen gave such a great interview this week. I only have time to show you a couple of bloopers. And don't forget to visit our website.
A lot of chiropractors, a lot of guys.
Lost Creek Golf Club, you lost.
Not bad.
Not in a store, though.
Hi, I'm Colleen Jones.
Hi, I'm Jan Betker.
Watch us next on TSN.
1982, Colleen Jones wins her first Canadian championship. It took 17 years, but she finally won it again in 1999. Title 3 came 2 years later, tying her for the most wins by a Canadian women's skip, and she followed that with her first world championship. It may have taken 2 decades, but that win finally earned Colleen Jones a little respect. Her successful title defense in Brandon made her the first women's skip to win 4 Canadian championships and confirmed her place at the top of her sport in the country. Now it's the drive for 5. Saskatchewan, the 3-time Canadian world champions, Olympic gold medal winners, are up next. It certainly didn't start out like this when Noah Martin began making his Mennonite summer sausage some 300 years ago. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to TSN's continuing coverage of the Scott Tournament of Hearts from Kitchener-Waterloo. We're actually a little bit north of the Twin Cities in Heidelberg, Ontario, which is right in the heart of the Mennonite area of southwestern Ontario. Up until a couple of years ago, the sausage was still made in the old Mennonite tradition on a farm not far from here. But while the process of making has changed, one thing has not: the recipe. It is still the same as it has been for 300 years. And the summer sausage that Tim is making is now shipped worldwide, including countries such as Germany. Coming up, well, we're at that time of the week when we start to separate teams that might be making a run for the playoffs, as we go to the auditorium and join Lyndon Ray.
Love the hat, guy. There's no question, Linda, that both these teams have had the recipe for success.
Well, you're right, and if they can grind out a couple of more wins, they'll be back in the playoffs this year. Really tremendous teams. They can execute. There is no question that tonight we will see a lot of shots made. The question mark is, what kinds of shots will they call? Both teams have been very conservative here, as we've seen in the past. They like to play the hitting game. If you talk numbers, which I like to do, and think of blanks, the kinds of shots, how many did they play as draws, and how many points did they allow? That's the points against. Well, these two teams have been very conservative. The most blanks. Saskatchewan, the lowest shots as draws, and both of them not allowing a lot of points against. That's because they like to play it open. If they use guards, they try to only use the opponent's guards. They don't like to put up a lot of front stones themselves, and so I expect a fairly low-scoring game.
Well, I agree. It'll be interesting to see who goes first, who pushes the button first. But they're both very, very strong teams. The one big key factor here is Colleen Jones is a proven skip. They're both world champions. Jan Betker, four times an all-star at this event, but as a third and a second once. Right. So the big question is, can she throw it last? Can she be consistent? Can she win as Colleen Jones has?
Jan Betker, Colleen Jones. Between them, there are 22 national championships among Saskatchewan and Team Canada.
The 2003 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Kitchener-Waterloo is brought to you by Cottonelle Bathroom Tissue. Softness you'll notice.
There are some key games in this 14th draw when you think that there are only two more or one more day of round robin play. There's our featured game, both teams at 3 losses. British Columbia, some say, some believe 5 losses is not too many. So if that's the case, BC must win and bring PEI back. Ontario lost this afternoon. New Brunswick at 5 losses, trying to stay alive. So is Manitoba, and Alberta trying to avoid dropping to 5 losses. Teams with byes on this Wednesday night include Quebec, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, Labrador, and the Yukon Northwest Territories. Here at the Odd in Kitchener, and draw 14. Now they have brought in ice makers from right across the province to work with Dave Merklinger. He's the head ice technician, and the gentlemen who are in from Cochrane, Ontario, wanted to say hello to everyone back up north. So it's time to read the ice now. With rain, it's brought to you by Ford, built for life in Canada, right?
Well, they're the best of the best, and they put together a great surface under the leadership of Dave Merklinger. Curl, you got it, around the center guard, about 4 feet. It'll curl, yes, around the corner guard, once again, about 4 feet. Maybe even a little more as we move through the game. From the outside in, we see this all the time. They hold early, break late, but they'll go about 3.5, maybe 4. If you throw weight, they will run straight. So you must remember it. When you're drawing in towards the slide path in this area here, you gotta watch the brushing carefully. Later in the game, if you're drawing way out here on the sides, they'll slide. So be careful once again with the brushing. This should be a World Championship game.
Rush hour. Very good. Very good. Let's meet the two teams representing Team Canada, the defending champions. The lead is Nancy Delahunt, Marianne Way, Kim Kelly, Colleen Jones. They curl out of the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax. And the Saskatchewan champions, their lead is Marcy Gooderite, Joan McCusker, Sherry Linton. They're skipped by Jan Betker. They're out of the Royal Caledonian, the Cali Club in Regina. Team Canada will play the
team in the hack.
Redstones, and so they will have the hammer in the first.
You're so nice.
Jan Betker moves out, and to get us going, the Saskatchewan lead, Marcy Gooderite.
Well, you know, of course, after me saying in the opening, it should be a very low-scoring game. They're very conservative teams.
13-12.
They'll put up every guard. It'll be a little like Vic saying 2 days ago, well, 5 losses will be too many. There'll be tiebreakers all Friday with all the teams with 5 losses.
Well, there's a few teams out there who hope that's true.
That's right.
One more day of round robin play.
Okay.
Each team will play 2 more games tomorrow.
You know, I just wanted to clarify my opening comments about the skipping. In no way Jan Betker skipped out of a very tough province, beat one of the best skips in the game, and Sherry Anderson to get here. So we know that she can skip, but you know, the test will be if she can be consistent throwing that last brick, and it really it's a different position, and sometimes those wide open hits and those wide open draws are not the same when you throw them last. I know I found that as I moved the odd time into playing, skipping a team and throwing last. I thought mechanically I threw it as well as anybody in the game at one time. Certainly not now, but at one time. But when I when I had to throw it last and when I decided to do some skipping, I didn't throw it quite as well. So it's in the stomach. It's something you have to get used to, and you can train yourself, and obviously she's made the transition well.
Nice throw. Clean only.
We talk often about the skips, but it's really clear with these two teams we have to talk about the whole lineup, because right down the line, if we have the best in their positions, and they're going to be working with some great ice, as Ray was saying. And if we talk about the times, these are brought to you by Karcher, and measure between those hog lines. Hits are 9 seconds. We may see some hack weight. Those are 11 seconds. Draws are 14. We may hear the interval backline to hog at 3.75. And Saskatchewan uses the zone system. So if they call out zone 7, that means the draw will land right on the button.
This is exactly what we expected. Those of you that remember, of course, the late great Sandra Schmerler, and this is the 3 members of her team, they played this way on a consistent basis. They would play ends 1, 2, 3, and sometimes as far as 4 and 5. Very up and down. They like to bank a little time, and then they would wait for their time and pick their spot and try and put a couple points on the board. But this is that's kind of Colleen's, as your stat showed, kind of her style as well. So we may see a few ends like this, up and down.
The one thing I said about this Saskatchewan team, as we see the great numbers rate the other day, is the only problem with the system of keeping it pretty open at the start of the game is exactly what you just talked about with Jan. She is not as used to the skipping position. She is not used to skipping at this championship. And if you keep it close, although it's a less risky end-by-end position to take, a more conservative style is not as risky that way. You get to the end and you're not like Colleen, where you're used to throwing in the last end when the score is tied and you have to hit the button. That's when the pressure really can hit you.
Yeah, I agree. And also, you know that there's, I mean, she's leading all the skips and percentages, Colleen is, so I mean, you just know how good she is.
Oh, she doesn't miss.
She doesn't miss those last shots, that's for sure. And there's a number of teams that she left in her wake that can tell you that is true.
Sherry Linton is the new member of this Saskatchewan team. We talked about those 22 Canadian Women's Championships. Among all the others on the ice, she doesn't have any championships on her resume.
So isn't that nice? She's making her mark by sitting in the top position amongst the thirds as shooting percentages. That's full credit to her to step into this event, onto this great team, and do this well. Playing tonight against another great third, a former MVP whose numbers have come up during the week to be in that second spot amongst the thirds.
Good.
Prince Edward Island leading the standings coming into this 14th draw, 2 games clear of Canada, Ontario, and Saskatchewan. Quebec and Alberta at 4 losses, and then there's a big bunch. 5 teams are at 5 losses, and hoping that they can keep it going. And the teams will fall back and join them, forcing possible tiebreakers. And there you can see them. So it still is very tight.
Tell me a couple of those play each other, so.
Please, please.
Please.
It does get interesting because the 2-4 loss teams play each other, so there are still lots of combinations when you look down that list of standings. That's why on Thursday, we've talked about it a lot, you think you can guess who might be in the playoffs, and anything still can happen.
Linda Ray, let's remember back to after the passing of Sandra Schmerler. The team looked at how they were going to approach their future. They had to look within themselves, obviously, whether they wanted to continue playing. But remember at the Olympic trials, it was Shannon Clybrink that came in from Calgary to skip the team. So somewhere along the line, they looked within themselves, and you know what? They said that decision for Betker to move up to skip was made within them, or they could have all moved up. They thought it maybe be easier to fill the third position rather than say Joan move up to third, everybody move up the ladder, as it were. Your thoughts on that?
I think one of the most interesting things that happened to this team is I think it was a natural progression for what happened. This is a great front end. I don't think you're moving Marcy or Joan out of their positions. They are all stars in those positions. I think one of the interesting things that happens, no matter who is the new member on the team, there's a lot of pressure on them, and also the whole dynamics changes. The way that players interact, they now have to get used to Jan's leadership style, which is different than Sandra's was. Everybody's different as a skip. I think it was a great progression, a natural progression for Jan to move to skip, but I think it's still going to take a little time for them all to get used to working with each other. I still find when I hear and listen to some of the conversations, it doesn't sound the same as what I might think back and when we heard them work together before. But I think Sherry has been the most important addition, and the way she works with Jan, I think, is a wonderful combination.
I think the other thing too, Victor, is that I think, and we talked, we had the opportunity right after they won, after she beat Sherry Anderson, to talk to Jan on the phone right after her victory, and you know, you asked her, you know, it took a couple of years, it took 3 years to kind of, you know, get to into this situation. You had some success, but not a lot. She said, you know, Vic, it was not the team. Our combination is great. It was me. I had to, and I think all of a sudden Jan felt, you know, I think I can play this position. I think I can be good at it, and I want to test and find out. I want to see if I can do this, and obviously she can. They win probably the toughest province in our country when it comes to female curling, and she's here and she's in great position. And this is a huge game for both these teams.
It sure is.
You don't want to drop to the 4 losses.
Do you think, Linda, that the transition is easier with somebody within the team taking over the skipping, or finding a skip to take over the team?
It's a hard question to answer, Vic. That's what I was trying to say, that the dynamics of the team changes so much. I guess in some ways the fact that Jan knows 2 of the players very well as far as the way they throw and maybe the style of play that the 3 of them prefer, maybe it's easier for her to move up than to have someone come in who has a different style of play. But I still think it's that final member of the team. They have to find a way to fit them into the system. And Sherry's done a wonderful job of becoming a member of this team.
On the side it does too. I'm going to beak. I'll risk it.
Now it's.
Yeah, I think it's on.
Okay, so if that's the case,
black, so.
They'll hit for a possible 2 here. If Team Canada believes that stone. Remember, they'll bring out the stick, the 6-foot stick, and run it by. The black is part of the rings.
Black counts. Did they say that? So you think it's on?
Well, okay. If we beat it.
Worth the gamble? Here in the first?
If they honestly think it's close, sure.
Don't have Nancy go measuring if I roll out, for God's sake.
So we're beaking this. Okay.
But what if Saskatchewan would want to measure it if you roll out, Colleen?
So playing the hit for a possible 2.
Shot. 1, we're going to measure that guy. Yeah. We need a measure.
I think it's off.
1 for sure.
You can see why.
What do you think, Ray?
Well, it depends on where
If
You're going to start it up with me right away.
No, but
it looks a little off.
It looked off to me.
Yeah, if you can see a tiny
I
bit of
don't mind
white.
taking the risk with it, especially since I would have beaked a heel anyway.
Just while they measure this, Vic, I wanted to read this cute little thing I got from a Canadian champion, Alfie Phillips Jr. A curling team can best be defined in the following manner: preparing the dinner for dinner. The lead set up on the table. The second player provides the.
Just whiz right
Is it off?
Yeah, it is.
Second player provides the appetizers. The third player selects the wine. The skip selects the entree also, and he or she decides whether you're going to have dessert. Happy birthday to John Ross. He's 65 today.
Funny, when we're with you, you're always ordering the wine.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's on the team.
making your lifelong dream a reality. Whirlpool proudly sponsors extraordinary Canadian women athletes who dare to pursue their dreams. Curlers like 2002 Canadian champion Colleen Jones, Janique Berthelot, Jennifer Jones, Manitoba provincial champion, and their teams. Just imagine what you can do. Whirlpool.
The 2003 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Kitchener-Waterloo is brought to you by Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. By Ford, built for life in Canada. By Karcher, you'll look for things to clean. And by Robaxacet, helping you walk away from back pain.
Let's begin our updates with the current leaders at 7-1. Prince Edward Island against BC. Suzanne Goody out of the Charlottetown Curling Club against Tony Pfister from the Golden Ears Winter Club in Maple Ridge. And you can see that Yellowstone back of the button. That is the current shot stone. The in off. And look at that. She nearly stuck it for 3, but her shooter backs up. PEI gets 2. 2-0, they lead. Ontario against New Brunswick. Ann Dunn, the Ontario champions from the Galt Country Club in Cambridge, just south of Kitchener-Waterloo, against New Brunswick. Heidi Hanlon, Thistle St. Andrews. Hanlon and the team from New Brunswick at 5 losses. Ontario with 3, and Dunn here with a draw against 2. You see them there, edge of the 12, edge of the 8. There's the single point, and Ontario has the early lead there. Manitoba, Barb Spencer, the Fort Rouge Curling Club, Winnipeg against Deb Santos. The Alberta team from the Avonare in Edmonton, they blanked the first here at the Odd in Kitchener on a Wednesday night and draw 14. So Canada settles for 1. That stone was out. Worth the risk, worth the gamble.
Just a little surprised because it appeared to be out to us as we looked at it. I thought some of the players on Team Canada also echoed those sentiments, thought it was out. It was Colleen really was the only one saying she thought maybe it was in. I guess that surprises me that they wouldn't be pretty definite knowing that was out.
Dare we?
Go up front?
Up and down this end, as we expected. First rock in, an exchange of hits.
Good weight, I think.
I think it's lots.
Marianne Way, the Team Canada second, suffered from a bit of flu, as a number of players did.
I think you could just let it go
early in the round robin. She missed a game.
It doesn't go deep.
And you have to think that her lower numbers than normal are because of that
It's dying real quick, is it?
Hopefully she's feeling better now.
Oh. Shrew.
Yeah. No. Okay. Let's throw it here?
Yeah, I would think a corner guard would be the call here.
Just be there. Yeah, I know. Just clean.
Yeah. Tight, guys. It's good. Shot, Joan. And I get to play 15, too. And it's pretty tight.
What are we doing with it?
Going in around it, Kimmy.
Ooh, baby.
We talked about the 22 Canadian championships among the two teams, and then of course there are several players that have Canadian mixed titles as well. Coleen's got a, Kim Kelly's got some, Jan Betker. There's a 26 then, so 4 Canadian mixed titles add to that, or a total of 26.
It's pretty amazing to see the number of titles out there, and of course the Saskatchewan girls, every time they won a Canadian, they won a world title as well.
Well, Colleen chose to defend against that corner guard by getting in there first, keeping it in front of the tee line. Neither one of those things happened. She was missed the guard by a foot and a half, and it's too deep.
I don't mind the head flop. Okay, normal weight.
Looking for a little roll behind that long corner guard put up by Jan Betker. And you're right, Linda. Sherry really has, because I think there's a little added pressure on you stepping onto a team like that, and everybody expects that, you know, you to curl really well, and that's exactly what she has done. Curl well.
Okay.
Spoke a little too soon, I guess.
Immediately following our coverage from here in Kitchener, we'll head out to San Jose, the NHL on TSN. The Islanders will play the Sharks. 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. The NHL on TSN.
T. T-line. 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 Maybe a little deeper. Go. Good. 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 Excuse me. Sorry.
We can freeze
Perfect
now.
split.
We're going to get forced anyway.
No thought at all of freezing to them.
It looked like on the first throw, which was of course the other turn on the other side of the sheet, Sherry maybe got the stone a little bit started, rolled it to the inside target.
Okay, that's good.
As well, looking live at the game between Manitoba and Alberta. Remember, they blanked the first. Manitoba with the hammer. That is Barb Spencer out of the Fort Rouge Curling Club in Winnipeg against Alberta's Deb Santos, and makes the hit against, well, makes the hit for 2. So Manitoba is up 2-0 there. Manitoba, one of those teams at 5 losses, hoping to still be alive. Alberta at 4-4.
Be a nice double there.
They do first lean to the takeout game, and we're talking about the fact that with an exchange of hits here, Colleen will leave them a double, but you know, there'd also be a hit and roll if you'd rather try that and leave your shooter in front of the other Team Canada rock.
Hard. Yep. Hurry. Right up. Right up. Good shot. Good shot.
Team flop is there now.
Yeah.
And throw up weight. Up weight, so the same should be good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, let's do this, Sherry.
We heard the comment. She'd like to come down on this one here and just get a little roll, if possible. Try and roll over into this area here. Sit right there.
Jan Betker on the first skip stone for Saskatchewan here in the second.
Well, they're playing the double, as I thought they might be.
And they get it.
Nice shot, Jan.
They're not comfortable trying things late in the end, so the fact that hit and roll was there, and it would have been more difficult for Colleen to get rid of their rock if they had been able to roll in front of the second red stone. They would rather try and get rid of it and start from scratch the next
they played the double all the way. You're right, Lou.
The good one.
She did mention that we may also get the hit and flop. Her own words were so.
With your second rock. It's code.
I know.
You put it in there.
Aha.
Can't whisper, Kim. That's part of the rules. No whispering.
4.5?
No, 4-2.
What it was in practice?
Yeah. I think 4-2.
We got a 4.5 in practice.
No. That's good. Well, might need a little help.
Hard.
Team Canada coming off a 6-5 loss to Kathy Cunningham, and team from Newfoundland, Labrador, the St. John's Curling Club. That was this afternoon.
Nice shot, Colleen.
Good one.
Nice for Colleen to get a chance to play a draw. This is a end sheet, an evening draw. So
70. So
stones will slow down a little more tonight as the game progresses. So it's nice to get the feel early and then just make the slight adjustment as you continue to play throughout the game.
And while Colleen lost to Kathy Cunningham, Saskatchewan was a winner over Newfoundland and Labrador in the first draw this morning.
Looking for the blank.
Yep.
Yep.
Hurry! Quick!
Go to right, McCusker with the brush, Linton with the line call, looking for the blank. A little bit more, a little bit more. One more good turn deserves not quite another.
One yellow.
Saskatchewan forced to take their single here in the second.
we just pretend she didn't make the double.
We're tied 1-1.
And we forced her to one.
She might have been. Maybe she was.
They are the defending champions, Colleen Jones, going for a 5th Canadian championship out of the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax. We're tied 1-1 as we go to the third here at the Odd, the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. And it is draw 14. And Team Canada, playing the Redstones, has the hammer.
It's going short and tight.
Wait, Marcy, girl.
Let it grow.
My name is Nancy Delahunt. I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I'm a full-time mom for my 2 children, Jane, who is 10, and Kevin, who has a birthday this week and will be 9.
Lots of room, guys. Great, you got room. Lots of room. Lots of room on its own.
We've got weight too. Yeah, we've got weight. Yeah. You know what?
Here's
It's
the
nice now.
thing I was talking about, using the opponent's guard, trying to draw around it to set up your deuce.
Okay, whoa.
Yeah. Sorry, we didn't need that early sweep.
Good throw, Nance.
Normal. Yeah, I did.
Hi, my name's Marcy Gooderite. I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan. I'm a systems analyst for Cooperators Life Insurance, and I'd like to say hi to my sons, Colin and Jared.
Yeah. Quick. Right up, hard, hurry. No.
And maybe one of the most easy-going players.
Does that
Always get a kick when they ask.
Does that have to go back?
Jan.
Does that have to go back?
Jan would say, well, what do you want to play, Marcy? What, you know, whatever,
She really is.
you know, whatever you want to play, I'll...
Very supportive too, Vic.
Yeah. Okay.
Nose ice.
I don't want it
Yeah,
either.
and we got to negotiate.
It's at our choice.
I mean, we have last
Well,
draw,
that's what they
right?
said to us the other day when this happened.
So
That's what we would do.
You don't want to?
Well, the penalties
I don't think I
incurred
want
by
that
the
out there.
Saskatchewan
No, thank you,
team.
Jan.
They weren't supposed to peel off that center line guard. I was a little surprised they played that kind
say
of
we go
weight,
with
knowing that
her,
they can't remove it. Once it is removed, the non-offending team can allow the play to stand, which is the full removal of the stone, and that's what Colleen wants.
She could have put it back if she'd wanted.
Considering I'm quite sure Joan would make the run, we'd come around and Joan would make the run back double. Yeah, I think not. But thanks for the offer.
I think there's a little,
I like deep.
head game
Behind
going
you,
on
just
out
behind
there.
me, Bev.
Linda,
I think we're there.
psych.
We're there.
No, these two
Easy.
teams,
Very competitive, boy.
very
They-
competitive,
yeah.
very
Nice, Nan.
experienced.
Nice one.
Gamesmanship, certainly.
Hi, my name is Joan McCusker. I live in Regina, Saskatchewan. I'm married to Brian. I have 3 kids, Rory 10, Christina 6, and Shay 3. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a CBC curling commentator. I am a motivational speaker. And when I'm not doing all those things, I curl a little bit.
Very nice. Nice shot.
Nice roll.
And curls quite well.
It does really, for mine.
What if we throw soft? kind of fly away from there.
Or just freeze.
Yeah, we could freeze.
We'll try to get a bounce.
Hi, I'm Marianne Way from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I'm a massage therapist at the Advanced Wellness Center, and I have a daughter, Lauren.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Hard. Hurry, 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 hurry. Quick.
Oh.
Oh, dear. It's hard.
Let her roll away a little further.
Oh, yeah.
This one first. Close. Me inside.
Definitely a double, not that difficult, actually.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Go, Sherry. Go, go, go,
Enough.
go, go.
Enough, not quite. Still a chance still there for Colleen Jones and Team Canada to possibly get their deuce.
Got the same turn?
Now, Joan will be a little disappointed because she was so close to making these. With the stones being that close together, it wasn't as difficult. Just about punched the second one out.
It's hard to say now, but
No.
that didn't seem to be so lively. Was that a little deader, or did she just not make contact?
Well, it's a good point, Victor. Once again, we're on sheet A, which is an outside sheet, and it can get a little bit softer, a little bit quicker.
Shot, nice
So
throw.
you have the eye of an eagle, of course, and we'll trust in what you say. But it didn't spin like I thought it would.
Hello, my name is Sherry Linton. I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan, and I'm a manager customer service at Scotiabank.
Normal or normal up?
Now, Sherry may not
Normal
have
up.
the Canadian
Yeah.
titles to her credit, but
No, it's hurry.
she has represented Saskatchewan
Okay.
and goes across the top at the Canada Winter Games, and she is also a Saskatchewan
dare give
junior
you 4.5?
champion on 3 different occasions.
Or
Judge
two.
from last
Okay.
end.
Hi, I'm Kim Kelly from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. I'm a pharmacist at the QE2, and I want to say hi to my son, Brett, and my daughter, Madison.
Key-line. Have a look, guys. Key-line.
This is a great scenario for Team Canada, now able to spread out the stones with that rollout.
You're getting it.
Great sweep, you guys. Great
Nice
sweep.
sweep. Okay, I promise I'll give
gets
you
it
in
spread out
between
well.
there next time.
Kim apologizing to the front end for all that extra work.
But they'd rather do that than see it sail
Sail
through
through
the
the
house,
ring.
because there's
That's right.
nothing you can do about that.
Yep. Yep. Hurry! Hard, hard, hard. Quick.
One of the things also, Lynn, and I'm sure you would agree with this, because you played with different teams and played on different positions, is that when you do change a team member, it takes a little while or add a different team member, it takes a little while to get familiar with their releases. It takes time to really understand.
No,
And of course, that then can alter very much the calling of the ice, reading of the ice.
Definitely, and it appears tonight that Sherry Linton is just turning the interns inside a little bit. That's 2 in a row that have over-curled, and fairly dramatically. So you do have to get used to them and also know a few tendencies. If they're off, which way are they off a little bit?
And Kim
Nice
was
throw,
true to her word, and she gave them a little more weight so they didn't have to sweep. Now, there is a very, very honest woman.
And a very nice shot.
Nose is fine too.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is just a golden opportunity for Colleen to get a deuce and take a little bit of command of this game. It's early, so it's...
No, actually, I'm thinking of rolling out. Like, not out, but out. She rolled out there once before. Let's make her throw that again. Okay. As long as we're shot after this. Nose is fine, too.
Hi, I'm Jan Betker from Regina, Saskatchewan, and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to be when I grow up, but for now I'm a stay-at-home mom to Stephen and Adam.
All on its own, nothing from good writer McCusker, and she'll roll it over.
That's good.
Turns out to be a nice shot.
Yeah, it'll hang around the back 12.
That was just up weight, I think, eh?
Yeah, it was a little
bit,
extra
yeah.
weight, so that's why it went a bit straighter than they expected.
Yeah.
Good throw by Jan.
It's perfect. If Colleen sits there, there's a possibility
It's a good shot.
for a double.
Just a little bit more weight, I think, than normal. Yeah, I threw good. Yeah.
I didn't mean to power sweep that to the back of the rings.
What's that?
I didn't mean to power sweep it to the back of the rings.
Yes.
I'm Colleen Jones from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I do weather and sports for CBC News Morning. And also I have my husband Scott, and my kids are Zach and Luke, and I have 2 cats and now 2 dogs, Brutus and Bruno.
Whoa! Yep! Yep! Whoa! Whoa!
Yep. Yep. Nice. Nice shot.
Hangs around, so it's still
Nice
set up
weight.
for a possible
You
deuce.
know, it's wide open. It's a wide open
Yeah.
end. The end's
That's
been wide
great
open, but the
shot.
execution's been great.
Exactly what we expected.
Yeah.
One little mistake, and Saskatchewan made it this end, and the other team will jump all over it and try and get their deuce. All Jan can do is try and hit shot rocks, stay near the back of the rings, and hope that Colleen rolls out when she tries to get her 2.
Whoa. Easy. Whoa. Clean. Yep. Atta girl. Good.
Jan threw that down there with an in turn, and Colleen will go to her out turn, which is the turn that she prefers. Not so much this week, Linda, you were mentioning.
Well, it's the turn she prefers, but interestingly enough, the shooting percentage is higher on her in-turn hits this week, which is really quite unusual. She's still playing more out turns, but the numbers on the in-turn are very good.
I'm getting better and better at leading you into those things.
Oh,
Art.
you're... I'll get out the money here. No. But she still leans to playing the out turn. You're right, Ray.
Looking for 2 here in the third of a 1-1 tie. Colleen Jones.
Yep. Whoa!
There's an in
Clean.
there. Big time.
Clean. Clean.
Clean all the way. Girl. Girl.
Nice shot. Nice shot, Colleen.
Good shot.
There you go.
Sherry?
Yeah.
So 1 mistake.
2 red.
Team Canada jumps all over it for a deuce. And a 3-1 lead in this 14th draw.
Okay. That's all right. A chance to get it over there. No problem.
4 sheets in play here at the Odd in Kitchener on a Wednesday night. And this 14th draw, Scott Tournament of Hearts, 3-1. Team Canada playing the Red Stones, leading as we go to the 4th, and Saskatchewan will have the hammer.
Coming down. Hey, no,
That's a big 2 points, Linda, this stage of the game. You know, I mean, I know it's early and there's a long way to go, but it does, it forces Saskatchewan now. And, you know, they've been in lots of positions like this where they have to play from behind.
Good shot.
It was a nice end, though, for Canada, having to take no risks. They got the 1 mistake, were able to play it open. Now it really does force Saskatchewan to go into this style we talked about that she does not prefer, and that's more rocks in play. It's not that they can't play it. We know they can execute, but it's just what they didn't want to have to do this early in the game.
But she's just going to tap that back, though, to be right behind there pretty quickly, aren't we?
Team Canada sitting first and second
like
shots.
this. Yeah, I like this too.
Pretty That's why they're talking about what they want to do here.
Marianne Way
Nice throw, Marianne. Clean only, clean only, clean only, clean only. That's good.
That's a good shot.
Great shot, Marianne. Nice throw.
Boy, and the shooter rolls over,
Looked like a real nice
cover
throw.
half the stone. We apologize for
Great shot,
some of the
Marianne.
video interruption. Bumping along right now
That's
like
a good shot.
road to the cottage. Like
It was a nice
washboard
throw.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like it on your first.
I'm paved all the way down.
You're just a hard body, aren't you?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, with the freeze, they can just guard up. That's good, isn't it?
Well, we can tap this back just a little bit.
Yeah, I can only see half of it, hey?
That was a great
Yeah,
roll.
withdraw weight, like just back forward.
Turned out to guard shot rock.
I think it would spill out here. No?
What?
Whatever you want.
You either make a play
just
on the front one to open up the back one, or you
I guess
just
you could
try and play
push that to
quietly to
here
shot rock. Those are the
and roll this
choices
here.
they're
That's
talking
not
about.
bad.
This may be some of what
back
you were
12
suggesting, the team still learning about each other, some of the,
Back
the
line
conversation back and forth.
I really think it's different than it used to be, right to the point where they treat Jan differently,
Right.
or maybe should treat Jan differently when she's in the hack. Sandra had a wonderful way of being
Yeah.
able
You
to
got a
throw a
55 on
rock,
yours,
almost talking to the brushers as she went. And I think Jan's style is much different than that. So you're right, Vic, this conversation may be just a little bit unusual from what we've heard before.
Line, yeah.
Yeah, line's good. We have back line?
Yep.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. No. Roll that one. Hey, go on that one, Mars. Go on that one. Go hard. Oh, that's a great shot.
Very nice
Nice
shot.
shot, Joan.
Regular.
Yeah, they push that into a nice position so that they can use it because it's behind the tee line, and they can get the hit and roll off the shot rock if they get a chance. So there's a whole bunch of things that can happen, and that rock being in that position is perfect.
Yep. Whoa. Okay, that's okay there. Whoa, stop.
Shot, Marianne.
Good.
Just rolled a little too far. They would like to have just had it sit out a little bit more than that. Nice roll, however, but
And some people sitting at home may be saying, oh no, Saskatchewan's in trouble.
Very
There are
nice.
3
I like
red
that he did
stones
better
in the
than in
rings.
front
This
of
is
the front. I
actually a
don't
good
mind it.
spot for Jan Betker. She can actually use the red stones to her advantage. They're going to hit shot rock, mostly because now they can reposition. They can hit and roll towards the other red rock.
Normal?
Yep.
Yep.
Hard. Whoa. Whoa.
Look at this. Very nice roll.
That's beautiful.
great
Wow.
shot.
And you know, but it comes back, Linda, to the novice looking at this. You're thinking, yeah, you're right, but look what happens now.
Well, they just love the way Joan pushed her first, the first shot that set up this situation, and that was a great shot by Joan. Absolutely terrific.
And that's the fun part of strategy, that as a skip you have to think ahead and think, where do you want to push it? It's not just a raise, it's not just a tap, it's exactly pushing it to the right spot to set up the end.
Let's remember that Kim Kelly is an MVP in this event, and so you're going to see the tops in their field playing their positions.
Perfect.
Got to get this by if they can get this down to it.
Great. Sweeping. Huff
Sweeping, guys.
Huff and whoever you're with. Huff. Nice shot, Kim.
Thanks.
We're seeing some great execution.
If you catch this one, it's just going to jam there.
Yeah, this is going to jam. Yeah.
Right? We could play this, because even if you catch this, it's just jamming there. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Can you see all of it?
It's edge to edge, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, if you come in 3/4 and still.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we'll try and just sit there.
The problem isn't the fact they can't get rid of the red
What
stone
weight
that
do you
is
like?
shot rock at the top of the 8-foot. They definitely can. At the conclusion of this
Straight up.
shot, however, there may be a chance for a double. That's the only problem. This is the intern that Sherry Linton had a little trouble with so far in the game.
Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! Whoa! What do we got for whoa?
Very nice.
Great shot.
Got the roll away. They were worried that they might grip the stones, but the shooter rolled away.
Now think back. 2 shots ago, it was Team Canada line 3. Now it's Saskatchewan line 2.
Yeah, 2 great shots by Jones, especially the positioning with her first one.
Whoa! Double?
And that was a great shot by Sherry Linton.
Whoa! No! Yeah! Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Sit. 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 Sit.
Get over there!
Wow, just about the perfect roll. Looks like the Yellowstone belonging to Saskatchewan is shot rock.
Yeah, that's a little bit of hard luck because it was another great. We've seen 4 or 5 great shots here.
Okay, just behind the tee.
Oh, 60? 60? So pretty much same in practice, then, eh? Yeah. Yeah. It's about, I thought what I was throwing. Okay.
Yep.
Pressure doesn't end now. Sherry needs to have this draw be behind the tee line so she doesn't let the hit and roll back over to the situation on the other side.
Three guys. Three guys. Push, 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 push. Little more, little more, little more, little more, Joan. Atta girl. Great sweetheart. Nice shot, Kate.
Nice shot, guys. I thought I was there, but yeah, down the center.
This is absolutely a textbook, and to be able to show someone or in a teaching scenario to show people how to get points and how to maneuver stones. Phenomenal and great execution, you know. So
well, how not to be scared and shaking in your boots that you've got the opposition has got 3 in there.
And more importantly, knowing what you're doing, and being able to, you know, think those 3 shots ahead or those 2 shots ahead. Absolutely terrific. And you know, Saskatchewan's in great position here to get her 2 points back right away. Now there still has to be some execution, Linda, but
that's the key too. You don't make those shots as they did, then this is developing a little differently.
Then it is a mess. And Jan Betker that would be in trouble, but not right now. She's got it set up. Colleen trying the hit, maybe a little roll.
Right up.
she'd like to keep it high too.
Good shot. Oh my God, that was so close.
I know. That one means.
Well, yeah, we're not.
Heard Kim Kelly as she glanced to the 2 on the left-hand side in the 8-foot, the red and yellow stone, saying, oh, we were so close with that roll. Red stone rolling just a tiny bit too far, or it would have been perfect.
Now a nose hit would move the stone 11 inches up, and so would give you a little chance to roll over there again, Linda. So Jan would like to just roll maybe a little bit to the outside if possible.
Yeah, it just felt like it's maybe it's just there's no.
This will be the first stone for the Saskatchewan skip here in the 4th.
Oh my goodness!
Oh! Uh-oh. Whoa!
A little wobble and maybe a little extra weight.
Over.
Okay.
Okay. Is that up weight?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little more than she
Well, I guess we can really.
anticipates, right?
Is there white on that? On
that a little
red.
bit.
So a way to get out. She's just going to draw down into the situation, try and get it just around the top 12-foot one a little bit, which would make it very difficult for Jan Betker to get her deuce.
One of those quirky little facts about Colleen. We know this is her 17th appearance at the National Championship. She's also been in mixed. She's also been in juniors. She is one of only 2 players in women's competition to have appeared and participated in all the provinces, all 10 provinces, not any of the territories, the 3 of which there are now, Yukon, Northwest, or Nunavut. But she's appeared in all and played in all provinces and championships. The other person?
Line's great. That's plenty. Might have to go for line.
Violet Pike of Newfoundland.
Yes!
Well, I would have come up with that.
Eventually, huh?
Hard line!
Played in Canadian women's mixed and senior championships.
Hard line! Do we have a chance, Nan? No, but spin it in for shot. Spin it in for shot. Whoa, whoa.
Okay. Perfect weight.
Yeah, the weight was absolutely perfect.
Great weight, Skipper.
But you know what?
It rolled to a great spot. Yeah,
You know
because
what?
how do you get 2?
Great weight.
You can't hit it on the center line side or you'll drive it into the situation.
Yeah. And you can't really hit and roll in.
You hit it on the other side,
Not a bad
you won't
shot.
be second shot.
Good eye by
We're in the way
Nancy
of the camera, I
Delahunt.
think, guys. Well, it doesn't have to be that turn, though. Me.
I think I'd rather play this one.
The other one, I don't think.
Would you?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, if it runs on you, we can't punch it this way.
Darn it, that turned out
out. Anything we get one, we get one.
You don't think you can hit it on the center line side and with enough weight to push it through the hole, yet you've got really all the 8-foot to still roll?
Well, you could drive it if you drove it onto your own. If you came down and hit it onto your own, that's what you're suggesting here, Vic, is hit this and hit it here, and it might spin off. I mean, onto Colleen's, but you wouldn't want to hit it onto there.
No.
So it's not an easy shot.
It looks like she feels she can hit it slightly off nose and maybe roll in into enough of the 8-foot and miss the yellow one.
Well, no. Really?
Yeah, it's possible for sure. She only needs half a rock roll, but you got to be careful you don't drive it onto your own.
No, no, no.
Whoa!
That hurt her hard.
Close.
Yeah!
Yes!
Quick, quick!
And now it's got to sit and sit quickly. Sit quickly.
Oh, it's close.
You're right.
I still think it's red. That just took off.
I think it's red,
I think
Sherry.
you're right. I think it is. I think it's red.
I think it's red too.
Okay. I'm just glad if we get one.
Yeah.
We get one. That's
It's red.
amazing.
Yeah.
One red it is. One for Team Canada. The steal of a single means it's a 4-1 game.
Didn't I just?
And Jan Betker is left shaking her head.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that to be better.
Not at all.
The top women's teams in Canadian curling here at the Scott Tournament of Hearts in Kitchener. Let's update you on the scores now. Manitoba ahead of Alberta 2-1 as they play in the 5th. And Barb Spencer of the Fort Rouge in Winnipeg has the hammer against Deb Santos of Edmonton. 2-1 Ontario and Dunn leading Heidi Hanlon, and Heidi Hanlon from the Thistle St. Andrews in St. John with the last rock there. 4-2 PEI. Suzanne Goody continues to roll along, leading the standings as she plays the only rookie team here on this year's championship, Tony Pfister, out of the Golden Ears Winter Club in Maple Ridge, BC. So a steal of 1 for Team Canada has them up 4-1 on Saskatchewan. And the team from the Cali in Regina, skipped by Jan Betker, has the hammer as we pick up play in 5.
And you look at that steal, it really does jump out at you. And I don't know what happened to that last rock. It seemed to take off. She had lots of weight, and it didn't seem that it should curl that much, Ray.
For sure.
Yep.
You know, I'm sure it must have
That's
picked
good.
a little bit,
Yep.
then, because it just
Okay,
came out. There's no reason with that weight
That's
for it
good.
to curl like that.
Nice shot, Nance. Yeah.
Nice shot, Nance.
Jim almost
That's what
ruined
they
the
call
shot.
the rub of the green.
Back line, wait, Mars.
Okay.
It's one of those things as a skip and a person who hasn't played skip at this level before that can be very discouraging for Jan. She missed both of her rocks last end, rolled out in the first and had that unfortunate miss on the second after the team made so many great shots to set up the deuce.
Joan made 2 great ones, and
Yeah.
Sherry made 2 wonderful shots, so you're right. It still gets down to the you know, the fact that it is the last rock game. And
Clean. Yep. Hard. Hurry hard.
Marianne Way.
Hurry hard. Quick.
Where's that guy going?
Sorry, Marianne. That was a good throw.
He was just
And
going
you know what? I
places.
think it's a good thing that she rolled.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Linda, how difficult do you believe it is? And it happens in all sports,
you know, off a
all
little bit,
team
that's
sports.
good. Yeah. Okay.
When somebody of
Back
prominence
12, Wayne,
leaves,
back line.
you know, well, it's not their team anymore. It's my team or our team. And quite obviously, Jan and the others have to and had to deal with the passing of Sandra. How much of a problem is that when it's constantly mentioned? I mean, I mentioned it. Ray brought it. And when we talked to her after she won the provincial, we had to ask her about it. It is her team now, and you have to deal with that.
I think because of the tragic circumstances around Sandra's passing, I think they're quite aware that everybody wants to ask the question and they're okay with it. I think, I really don't think it's a big problem, but I think you've already talked about the leadership of Jen, and I think that's the hardest part, is to make your stamp on the team. And everybody does do it a little bit differently, and it's hard sometimes to know exactly how you want to lead the team as a skip. It's just going to take her a little while to really get that set in her mind.
Yep. Go for the straight piece, eh? Hurry.
Goes without saying, it's easier to play when you're in front.
Okay.
Who do you think, Ray, is the more comfortable team in the case of Team Canada or Saskatchewan trying to come from Team
I think the Saskatchewan team is able to come, would be able to come behind a little, maybe a little better than Team Canada.
Well, I gave Marcy here.
But my rock is moving.
The signal from Joan was that they feel a little bit straighter rock, and that's why she asked for different ice for this come around. Feel this rock will not curl as much.
Whoa, for line. Yeah, line's good. Yeah. Two. Yes, line. Two. Oh, we're late. Okay. Okay, just leave it.
Calling out the zones, and that means the rock will stop halfway, and it will.
From Kitchener, TSN will go to San Jose. The NHL on TSN immediately following the Islanders and the Sharks. All kinds of trade rumors around the Sharks, who are not likely to make the playoffs. And it was a year ago that Canada celebrated a gold medal in men's hockey at the Salt Lake Winter Olympics. Wayne Gretzky sits down with Dave Hodge for an Olympic reflection Sunday night, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, just prior to Nashville and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Nice shot.
Boy, I tell you, Kim Kelly's come to play too, Linda. Colleen defending against the corner by playing around it. And
You see any of it? Little tap.
It's funny too, Ray, and I've talked about this some other days. Who you play and when you play them and how that changes your week. Team Canada's coming off a loss to Newfoundland.
Might need it.
They had an interesting finish to that game and maybe wouldn't be as happy with the way they finished that game. But sometimes now you come up against Saskatchewan, you have to win if you're Colleen Jones. She feels in her mind she has to win. She knows she's playing a great team. Sometimes that motivation. Oh, just a little rub on that come-around attempt.
They were actually trying to freeze to it. No, I'm sorry to interrupt. They just made the decision to go around it a little.
At the last minute, yeah. But sometimes the fact that Colleen's playing a team at this point that is this good will get her regrouped better than anything.
And we talked about this too. I've never seen a team better at shaking off a loss than this team. Now, they've had lots of opportunity over 17 trips, you know, and I don't mean that to be, I'm not trying to be mean or anything.
Experience.
But they absolutely can. We've seen them lose games at the Scott And you think, oh, they'll never bounce back from that baby. And they just come out the next day, and it's just not part of the whole scenario. No, they're terrific at that. They really are. And I give Colleen kind of the credit for that. She's a very positive person, an up person. And
Line's good.
Now, if you look at Saskatchewan, Sherry, and the girls, and if they happen to come back in this game and win it against a good team, that too can be a great motivator for the rest of the week.
How much? Yes! Quick! Oh, quick! Okay. Nice shot, Sherry. Atta girl. That's good.
Just one over here.
So with 3 losses, this is the kind of week it has been.
You know, I think we kind of
Saskatchewan tonight for Team Canada, and then New Brunswick and the Yukon Northwest Territories. New Brunswick is one of those teams at 5 losses, still alive at the moment. Yukon Northwest Territories, Don Moses, idle this evening, but is 2-7.
She's not going to do anything with this. She's just going to play that same shot, corner freezer. So I think we have to kind of be a generous right there.
Okay. Well, the thing is, once it gets hit a couple times, she's going to hit the double, right? That's the only thing I'm thinking.
But I just don't want her to, you know, it's not going to get, it can only get hit so many times here.
Okay.
I hate for her to, I hate putting it back here and having her ignore this.
You know, this is not an easy shot over here.
Just right here.
You could go this way here.
Like that?
Well, it doesn't have to be there, but yeah, anything.
Well, that's no double.
Sit it in here.
At least.
Yeah. I mean, if you put it there, you might
over this way
entice her
here.
to hit that one or freeze to that one instead of try over here. Somewhere back there.
Okay, back there.
Is that good ice, Colleen? It's not going to curl too much.
That's great ice.
Okay.
Give me a little more, Nan.
Right.
The problem that we have, you see it, okay. But we have to go deep or we leave her a double.
We'll take it for you. Just give us the 4-2, and we'll bring it back.
Can I give you a 4-2?
Colleen worried about what she'll leave Jan in this particular situation.
Do we want to go like to the other 8 foot?
Well, less ice. Yeah.
You know, just.
Well, you see, my worry is that by being way over and too far back, she's just going to corner freeze the one around the guard. Right? She's going to ignore this, and then I've got to pick out her freeze
even
myself.
if you're the other edge of the 4 foot, you're good, right?
Colleen wants this rock to be the one Jan deals with. She wants to pull her away from the other side of the sheet and make a play on this stone.
Back 8, full 8. Back 8, full 8.
Back 8, yep.
Back 8.
Whoa.
Skip stones here in 5.
Yeah, we're all there.
Watch it.
We're all there.
Colleen Jones.
Watch it.
All there.
Whoa.
Okay.
Shoot.
And too deep.
Sorry. Okay, and that's kind of what I need.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that looks great. That's the same as what I have.
Linda, did you? Oh, Ray, go ahead, sir. Go ahead if you want to do something here.
Yeah. Okay, a little bump.
Just going to try and bump this one back, is what you talked about.
Normal weight?
Trying to get it across here.
Throwing? Yeah.
And just trying to bump that stone back, kind of onto the face of that one. That was one of the options that Colleen didn't even talk about, was going angle freezing onto that one herself. That's kind of what I would have leaned to, I think.
Yeah, she had a little more. She punched it to back.
If she makes it on the edge of the 4 foot on the other side parallel, then it's a good shot as well. So it's
With these teams knowing each other so well, when you played, quite obviously you're going to get yourself up for a team that you respect and you know is going to play well. More difficult to play a team that surprises you, doesn't call the game that you may expect?
In some ways, I don't think so, because sometimes if you play somebody a lot and you have expectations in your mind, they're going to fool you. They're not going to do the things you expect. This one won't curl quite enough.
Okay. The weight was perfect, too.
Sorry.
She's just shaking her head a bit tonight, and it's been a little bit of that for her so far this week, Vic. She's been a little up and down with her shooting percentages and with the wins and losses.
Picked up back-to-backs now, but it's a tough close for Saskatchewan when you consider Team Canada tonight. Nova Scotia, Nancy McConnery is not out of it yet, and then she'll go against Ontario in her final game.
What?
Does she?
What?
Okay, nothing. No, you're right. That just sounded, yeah. It's a dumb question.
Just to finish off what we were talking about, Vic, I think the biggest danger for any team out there is to think too much about who you're playing, because then you do get up for teams, and the next game you fall flat.
And doesn't that come back to what you've always said, Ray? You go out with your game plan. Don't play the other team. Just play yourself.
Yeah, you try. You know, obviously you have to make some changes and alter things as you go through a curling game. But yeah, you should definitely. If you don't go to the curling guys with a plan, it's foolish. Now we saw Jan Betker's really curl here.
Nice shot.
Great throw.
Nice shot. I'm just wondering if she has the draw to bump that back through that port. No? That's real hard.
She could try it, I guess. Yeah.
But it looks like you can like get right
Well, we have no
through
choice. What I was going to say.
Boy, can you get there?
Yeah. It's just.
Can you get there from here?
I don't know how this.
I guess the answer is it's possible.
Like I gave here.
But how do you do
inside,
it?
Yeah.
Looking to where to put the broom.
I gave here. Now that one, that just really.
Yeah, it backed off a smidge in the middle.
Yeah, I just can't understand. What is
Just gotta
that?
make sure we're by that 8 and we're okay.
Yeah, what does that look like?
That looks good. See what it looks like from the hat.
That is a tough shot.
Yeah. It's there. It's just now I'm not quite sure
we're
what
going to take that rock away.
to give for ice because that was just so weird.
Yeah.
I think ignore that. Ignore that because I think this rock will do what Sherry's.
You don't think I tightened up the ice a little bit, a hair.
Okay. That's okay. I still think it's going to be good.
It's a good conversation trying to take Jan's mind off the last shot. They feel maybe her other stone isn't as consistent.
But at this point, would you not like to get the car back on its wheels by getting your single and then go on?
I guess they want to make the big shot and get the big boost going into the 5th end break.
Final stone, a tough one trying to draw through the hole, and a quiet tap back. And with the crowd applause, Linton calling off the brush. You got it by there. Does it move enough to get by there? No. And taps another one up.
Okay. 2.
That wasn't as easy as it looks.
Steal of 2 more for Team Canada.
Yes.
I thought.
Saskatchewan and Betker find themselves down. Let's meet the two teams throwing lead stones. For Saskatchewan, Marcy Gooderite. For Team Canada, Nancy Delahunt. The seconds, Joan McCusker and Marianne Way. Throwing third stones, Sherry Linton and Kim Kelly. And the skips, Saskatchewan's Jan Betker out of the Cali and Regina, and Team Canada's Colleen Jones from the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax. Well, she's been the best all week. What a team out of Charlottetown. Suzanne Goody, the former Canadian junior and world junior champion, is making a mark here in this year's Scott Tournament of Hearts in Kitchener. And playing against BC and the rookie team, all rookie team of Tony Pfister. They're both rookie skips, but Pfister and her entire team from the Golden Years Winter Club in Maple Ridge making their first appearance at the National Championship. And that's how cool she is. Great brushing, got her sister Robin there. Susan McInnes has been here before. PEI's having an absolutely tremendous week, and they are 2 games clear of everyone else. It's the 9th year for the Ford Hotshots here at the Scott Tournament of Hearts. First prize, the 2003 Ford Focus ZX5. As well, the winner will also receive a Nokia 6110 World Phone. Second and third place finishers receive televisions from RCA. All the players eligible trying to complete 6 different shots. Each shot worth up to 5 points apiece. The 4 semifinalists included PEI skip Suzanne Goody, Ontario third Lindy Marchuk, BC third Terry Pfister, and Alberta second Brenda Bomer. Brenda in her 4th appearance at the National Championship, trying the hit and roll, get it to the button, pick up 5 points, and she does. Bomer picked up 21 out of a possible 30 points. Goody trying to come through the hole, using her front end out of the Charlottetown Curling Club, Susan McInnes and Robin McPhee needing a little help. Drag it as far as they can, get it to the button for 5 more. She would score 19 of 30. And so it is. Goody and Bomer going nose to nose, eye to eye for the focus here in the Ford Hotshots.
The 2003 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Kitchener-Waterloo is brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
All the games have reached the midway point. PEI, we showed you, look at that. Deuces every time she had the hammer. Early big lead. New Brunswick ahead of Ontario as Heidi Hanlon tries to keep herself alive at 5 loss. And Deb Santos in the hack, getting ready to throw. Alberta skip out of the Avonare in Edmonton, playing Manitoba. And Barb Spencer out of the Fort Rouge in Winnipeg. The Manitoba team at 3 and 5. Again, teams at 5 losses still believe they have a chance, but they need to win out and then bring some teams back. Alberta comes in with a record of 4 and 4.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Manitoba's lying 3 here, Vic, and she has to hit and roll a little bit to the side to get a single.
That has
not
to
too
stop.
much.
Roll too far. Brenda Bomer saying no, don't do that. And so that stone at the top edge of the 8, that would be a steal point for Manitoba. And Spencer, she now leads 4-1 as they go to 7. It's coming together for Manitoba a little too late in the week, Ray.
It is, Victor, but those of us that are believe in the 5 getting into the playoffs.
Those that didn't speak too soon and say 5 was too many.
I'd like to go back just for a moment to Jan's last shot in that end, but just to talk about a bit. The shot was probably there, but it's a case, I think, of sometimes seeing something that really isn't. I liken it to the fact, if you ever hit your golf ball like off the fairway into the trees, and you go in and you look and you see, and you manufacture in your mind a shot. Like there's I punch it through that little hole, get it by that big spruce, and just underneath that birch tree, and I'll be out on the fairway. And I'll be instead of maybe just punching it out onto the fairway and then trying to make a good putt or a really good chip to get the stroke back. Sometimes you can make something up. Jan could have definitely drawn for 1 on the other side, had to hit the 8-foot to get a single. And the risk of the shot she played was so high, because as we saw, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but she chipped them in for a steal of 2.
Roll it out, Nance. Roll it.
And I guess when you think of the shot, it's different if we're in a point of the game where they have seen a particular shot come down that same path, and they know exactly where to put the broom and exactly what weight to throw. I think it seemed like the team didn't want to talk Jan out of it because she was struggling and they didn't want to have too much conversation. But it was a spot that even she said, I don't know exactly what it's going to do.
Yeah, I think in that case, for sure, you have to draw for the 1 and you're just 2 down. And then you go after her. You throw the first one up, you ignore anything in the house, and try and steal if you want.
Tapping.
Now the crowd just exploded in applause, and the brushers were all over. Do you think the early brushing on the stone affected it, Linda?
I don't think so. I think it was a really tricky spot because it seemed to almost straighten up. And it wasn't the brushing, I don't think, that did it.
I play every year in the Bayview Invitational with a good friend of mine, Brian Gravener, and year after year after year in that tournament, I used to manufacture these great shots out of the trees and bushes and things. And finally, one day he said to me, Moosey, just punch it out, get it back on the fairway, and maybe you can you know, knock a putt in or something. And that's exactly what that kind of a situation was like. Took me a long time to learn it, though. I never made the putt.
Yeah.
Sit here. Yeah, I like that.
And now, of course, you're to the numbers say.
Well, the numbers say that Colleen Jones and Team Canada are back to their old tricks. Look at the hit percentage for Team Canada, 92%. And yes, of course, that brings their overall team percentage way up. They just are executing beautifully, and we said that if you let them play up and down the sheet, they will wait for their mistakes that the opponents give them, and then they will really capitalize.